Look at cybersecurity. Ever wonder what's being done to protect networks against attacks? In the headlines recently, we've heard about hackers, mostly from overseas, getting into networks, compromising your personal information, even our safety as a nation. You know, a lot of work, believe it or not, being done right here in Rochester. Joining me now, Professor Jay Yang, Department Head of Computer Engineering at RIT, and Associate Professor Bill Stackpole with RIT's Computing Security Department. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Ben.
for having us.
Professor Yang, you recently won a funding award to help, and I'm really summarizing here,
Yes.
protect systems from hacking. Can you talk about that?
Absolutely. So the research grant, actually two research grants we have, is about how to recognize attack strategies for how hackers get into your networks, and we recognize those strategies and then extrapolate that to kind of further synthesize and simulate the maybe unknown attack strategies. Note that I'm using the word strategy here because we're concentrating on networks that will protect it. So well protected, you can get some early warnings, and based on early warnings, you can get a better sense about what could be coming, scenario that could happen before it actually happens.
Really being proactive.
Yes,
right?
absolutely, absolutely.
Bill, what's your role in all of this?
So I am working with another faculty member to build an environment that we're going to use to collect data that we can use to feed Jay's algorithm. We are hosting a penetration testing competition coming in a week and a half, and all of the data that we collect there, the physical attack strategy data, and the network traffic that we collect and analyze, we're going to use feed into Jay's algorithm and then get some understanding of how well we collect this data and how well the algorithm actually works.
And it's ASSERT, right? ASSERT?
ASSERT.
Yeah, so what does that stand for, Professor?
It is autonomous, you're quizzing me here. So
okay.
it's really autonomous kind of synthesizing, recognizing, synthesizing attack strategies.
Okay.
Yeah, so the idea of that prototype system that Bill was talking about, we want to put in the near real life, at least one form real life systems to understand how you can recognize it on the fly with real life feed of data and recognizing is this particular team doing what they're supposed to be doing, and can we prevent it actually in the future, 3 years, 4 years from now, we can prevent that, kind of stop them in the middle of their attack.
Yeah, so you're almost getting in the heads of these hackers, what they'll be thinking about and how they'll be getting into the systems.
Yes, yes.
And are you also protecting the systems from being as vulnerable? Or is this simply looking at what could be done to them?
So one thing we learned through this, I think including detection security research has been done in industry, government, academia for the past 2 decades or more. So now we already know that there's no 100% security. And you can ask Bill the same questions, and he will tell you roughly the same thing, that this really, the design of the internet, the design of computing system that enable communications is the opposite of preventing hackers from getting in. Because the system is supposed to be letting other people to have access. And then you let good guys to get access, you also let bad guys to get access. So there's no 100% security. So we're not trying to make everything 100% hardened and secure. We're trying to understand how to be proactive, like the word you use, proactive, preventive, so that we can know earlier what kind of scenario strategies that can happen, so that security analysts, human, can say, let's adapt and change things around before bad things actually happen.
Yeah, and I think we should mention here, I'm not sure that we have, but the NSA, the National Security Administration, actually helping to fund this grant for you guys to do your work. What will your interaction be with that agency?
So NSA actually work with both Bill's program and my program. We're two different departments in RIT, and the other departments also working with NSA as well. So the two grants, one is from National Science Foundation, the other one from National Security Agency. NSA in particular is working with us to develop a simulator. So we want to simulate, just like when you do pilot training, right? You have a simulator train your pilot. We want to develop a simulator that can train security analysts to see this is your network, what kind of things that could happen, and can we recognize those behaviors, can we change our configuration of the network so that it's harder for attackers to hack your system. So that's a simulator that's particularly sponsored by National Security Agency.
And as I mentioned, so important. It seems like every day in the news we're reporting about another system being hacked, whether it be to get information from private citizens or the government itself. I guess the question a lot of people have, why is it been so hard to get on top of this and also find out who's responsible for these
So
attacks?
we actually, on our way here, we talk. Bill, he has a lot to chime in here.
Yeah, so short version of the story, Jay and I come at this from two different perspectives, but we have the same end goal. One is that people who are breaking into networks are typically doing that for the same reasons that a traditional physical in-person attack would happen. If I want to rob a bank because I want to take the money, people on the network want to steal your money. I want to grab your identity. I want to get information that I would otherwise not have privileged access to. What has changed is the vehicle by which people are getting access to it. Instead of having to physically walk to a bank now, I can type on a computer keyboard and gain access to you remotely. And then the second thing that plays into this is the difficulty that we have in trying to identify the source of a particular attack, partly because instead of me being in the room where you can actually touch and feel me, I can be someplace else and potentially bouncing through computer systems in other locations, which might even be outside of the country in places where we don't have extradition treaties or the ability to have law enforcement engage with those communities.
So there's really not much law enforcement can do when these are identified offshore.
Well,
it can be very difficult.
Yeah, nationally, internationally, cybercrime, how to prosecute that. FBI, a lot of agencies are working together on this. It's just not easy.
Wow.
Not easy in terms of policy. RIT, for example, we are technical people. But RIT and other schools, we're also training students more from public policy perspective. How do you work on this against cybercrime, cyber attacks? Because it's not just technical problem, it's also social problem, also policy problem, law. Litigation, a lot of that.
A big problem all around, which makes your program so important. What's fascinating about it all is that you're not only using experts like yourself, but also students that you're teaching, developing programs. Can you talk briefly about that?
So, like I said, that this particular program, as well as other activities at RIT, is across colleges, across departments. I'm in computer engineering. Bill is in computing security. There's a computer science, software engineering, public policy, already mentioned, several programs across colleges at RIT. We're trying to educate students from the ground up, right? Undergraduate and graduate, but also doing research, as well as we have training programs for other people as well. So I think that today's world, and you know RIT, we have a lot of industry connections. As an example, a couple of weeks ago, we have open house. Out of 7 students doing co-op, 5 of them doing security-related jobs, co-ops out there. So it is something that we continue to train our students, that we want our students not just going through research program, but also education curriculums and certificate program, pen testing competitions, to really learn about real-life challenges and how to go against hackers.
All right. Well, we look forward to hearing the reports from you guys as you continue on this and such important work you do, gentlemen.